Are high insurance rates dragging you down? Call Randy King at 817-226-5464.
Senior Hunter Horner, and senior Ben McCaslin.
Questions?
Coach, you guys make history 75 years since you've done this. What does this accomplishment mean?
For our kids, having the opportunity to do it as a player in high school, you can never really convey to them what that feels like. So for the guys themselves, to kind of make the run to this as an underdog, a couple of games that we probably, we're not favored, might not, we're expected to win and be able to pull that out. I'm just proud for them that they get to experience, everything that comes with this and the sense of pride that they have. And for our community, I've had so much outpouring from people that were strangers to me that played 20, 30 years ago. I don't know that I've ever seen a situation around high school athletics where so many wanted it so badly, painstakingly, that they felt like they just never could get over the hump before. And so I'm just thrilled for our community to be able to breathe a sigh of relief and that the drought's over. And those runs that they made back in the 40s and 50s where they were making it pretty consistently, we're hoping that we can continue and get back up to that level where consistently we're at least competing for the, to get deep playoff runs.
Coach, how key was Slayton, especially on the defensive end? He couldn't really get much going in paint.
Yeah, I know. He's had that ability. I'm extremely proud of Slayton. Probably had one of his most frustrating games of his career in the semifinal. And we asked Slayton to do a lot. I had Slayton in junior high, and he was my point guard. So he's had to make a considerable transition, which is good and bad. But we do. At 6'6", we put the ball in his hands a lot and expect him to be able to operate the way most 6'6" kids at our level don't. But I'm proud of him. He bounced back, had a really good game, all playoffs long. He hasn't really had one-on-one matchups. They're sending double teams, and he's having multiple bodies. And where he struggled in Thursday's semifinal game today, passed the ball really well against the double team, 21 rebounds in the game, 5 blocks. Just his ability to patrol paint allows the rest of the guys to be more aggressive, allows me to be more aggressive in our defensive calling. And so he's a special player, and thrilled to have him. And I know he's put in a lot of work to try to get to this point, so I'm excited for him.
Coach, 2 things. What was it about that fourth quarter? You guys really turned it on, and defense riled up. I think they were only 2 of 11. What was it about that? And did you know that he was 1 rebound away from the record?
Didn't know the record was in play until we just heard it after the game. We knew going in, we had talked the last, since the semifinal Thursday, that we needed to play a faster pace than they wanted to. And even though, I don't think we forced just a ton of turnovers from Jayton, 11 in the game, but just them having to run 3 quarters to that extent, I think it took something out of them. They don't sub a whole lot. We went deeper in our bench today and tried to give guys breathers, and I think maybe some of the wear and tear by the fourth quarter had kind of caught up with them. And then, in the second quarter, we kind of got away from going inside, and at the end of the third, we really talked about penetrating into the middle, getting the ball inside, and once we got back on track doing that, everything just kind of snowballed from there, and we went multiple possessions that were good for us. And so, just trying to, I think the fatigue factor may have caught with them, and when it did, we were able to kind of execute a little bit better.
Slayton, your granddad was on that 64 team and just missed it. For you to come here, play like you did, win a state title, what does that mean for you, for just your this game family?
It means a lot to me, and not only for my family, but for the whole community. It's honoring to be there for them and do what they were trying to do. My grandfather was in tears when I went up to him, and that was because he missed it, man. I'm glad I was able to do that for him.
You know, Slay, you were pretty vocal the whole game, especially before. Just what were you telling your teammates?
I was telling them we got to sit down on D, the offense will come, but we got to sit, work, and we got to get in front of them. I'm vocal because that's where our energy comes from. When we're talking and when we're moving, it just helps us out. We play smoother and we play faster, and it just helps a lot.
Hunter and Ben, this is for either of y'all. With you being seniors, this is pretty much a dream scenario for y'all to go out like this.
Yeah, I think every one of us in here has dreamed it since we were in junior high of, oh, we're going to win it when we're older. And most people don't, but just to finally be here, it's definitely a dream come true.
Coach, how did y'all really embrace the underdog role throughout the playoffs? Slidell, Eula, how did y'all really embrace that?
You know, I think most of my guys would all agree that I don't blow a lot of smoke to say. I'm pretty upfront and honest. If we're favored, I tell them that you're better than them. You know, whether you play, you know, up to your potential is based on your, you know, action and effort. And when we were underdogs and not a lot of people expected us to win, I told them that too. And so, you know, in consideration with like the regional games, Eula, you know, they had a lot more experience than we did, and I told them that. We focused on that and trying to play up to that level. With Lipan, you know, based on what their history is, if I was in a similar situation, I wouldn't have picked us until they got beat either. But I think the guys, to some degree, have been the favorite in previous years, and it hasn't always panned out. And I think this year, some of those situations where with the schedule we played, everybody was kind of taking their shot at us. So even being the underdog was kind of, we tried to approach it like that was the mentality of everybody that wasn't in our locker room. But I think this group of guys still has confidence in the system we run and what their individual talents are. And so we talked about the underdog role, but I don't know that we ever really embraced being the underdog. We knew it was there. We just kind of wanted to disprove everybody more than anything else.
Final questions?
So, Coach, on social media, you guys are pretty famous overseas with the military.
Correct.
Talk about that. That's
my starting junior forward, Tristan Talmontes, he has a brother, Christian, who is stationed in Afghanistan. And unbeknownst to me, after our semifinal Thursday, someone posted on Facebook that, and it had a photo or a video of him and some of the other guys in his company all live streaming and watching the game. Now, I don't know how difficult of a task that is to get that to happen over there, but one way or the other, they had it on. And, you know, I coach Christian, extremely proud of him and the service that he's doing for our country. I know that he wishes he would be here and could enjoy it with us. And I just wish him and the other guys that were in the video that took the time and were cheering and yelling, safe travels and Godspeed back home.